Hello, Grüß Gott. Well, today we're ready to start the installation of our Catback exhaust system. So to do that, we have to remove the old exhaust system. Now the instructions say that we may have to cut the old exhaust system up. We're trying to check that out right now and see if that's true. If that's the case, I'll have a muffler shop do this because it'll just be too difficult to do it on the floor without a lift and without cutting torches. Anyway, so we're going to PB blast everything first, and then we're going to show you some of the things we're going to loosen up. Okay, behind the muffler, between the muffler and the rear of the vehicle, there's a clamp, and that looks like about a 15 millimeter deep well socket that we're going to use to loosen that up. We tried some other sizes. 14 millimeters too small. We used some American sizes. And we used some Whitworth and Leyland sizes, but they didn't work very well. So we ended up with 15 millimeter, and we're gonna loosen it up and see if we can loosen up some other things I'll show you here in a second. Right in front of the muffler, there's a clamp we have to take loose. So that also uses a 15 millimeter socket. And then we're gonna move forward to the rear cats and disconnect them, and that's a 14 millimeter deep wall socket. And so, again, we PB blasted them, and actually we already have broken them loose. Used a large drive to do it, and like I said, a 14 millimeter deep well socket. So we're going to take all that loose and see if we can wheedle this muffler out without having to cut it up. I don't really want to cut it up if I don't have to, because maybe I'd like to resell it to somebody who needs a new muffler. So we're going to work on that, and then we'll show you what we're going to do next. At this point, we have taken the part of the exhaust that goes from the back of the muffler to the end of the rear bumper. And to do it, what we did was we loosened the clamp right here, and then we actually took the hanger off, and we just wiggled it around in a circular fashion, and the thing just came right out. So it was not really very hard. So we've got that off. We have the nuts loose on the rear of the cats, and so now we're going to start looking at taking the muffler out. We have it supported with a jack stand so that it won't fall, and there's two of us, so we're going to be real careful, try to work that loose, and then we'll take it off next. All right, we got the main muffler and exhaust assembly off. Really not very hard at all. Notice this ugly Y pipe, how it squeezes down into something really small. That seems like a really stupid design. We've known about this for a long time, but it just doesn't seem quite right to me. Why the engineers did that, didn't do a little better job of making them go into this portion right here. Well, anyway, that is what it is. So we got it off in great shape. Hopefully somebody will want to buy this on Craigslist or something, because it's a perfectly good muffler, hardly used at all. So now we're going to start assembling the new pieces on there, so we'll work on that next, and we'll kind of get it set up and show you what we're going to do. All right, at this point we've connected up the Y pipe. So what we did is we connected it up, and we first of all put the driver's side one on first and left it a little loose. Then we had to slip the other pipe over it and kind of wiggle it into place. We had the holder off to do this. So what we found, it was really hard to get this to clamp together or to come together. So we put a board over here between the frame and the exhaust pipe, and then I got on the other side and pushed gently with my foot while another person tapped it with a rubber mallet in here so that the two pieces of pipe came together. So you just type it gently and just push gently. You don't have to use any super force. So then we went ahead and tightened these up to about 30 Newton meters. I just hand tightened them. I used my best judgment. And I also put inspector's lacquer on them after I tightened them up and made sure they were tight. Same thing with these. We tightened them up. I put some Loctite on these because we actually found they were loose. So we just snugged them up, probably 12 to 15 Newton meters of torque. And then I put inspector's lacquer on these because they're not going to go anywhere. They have medium strength Loctite on them. And so everything right now is aligned properly. I have not tightened this up, although I think I could at this point. I do have it centered in the middle of this, where the two pieces of pipe come together. But I haven't tightened it up because the instructions say to wait till the end. So we'll do that at the very end, and then we'll put inspector's lacquer on it. to just make sure that we cover everything. So now we're going to start attaching the muffler. So we'll have to put it on and then put the bracket on it so it holds it up into place. And then we will see what's next after that. So we'll be right back. All right, at this point, we've actually finished the job. So what we did was we put the muffler down near where it needed to go into the truck and got it located properly with the clamps on it. And then we fed the rear exhaust pipe, the one with the resonator, up over the axle and into where it would connect to the muffler. So then we connected to the muffler and then installed the muffler bracket as we pushed the muffler onto the Y pipe that comes off the front area. So then we manipulated the rear exhaust pipe and reinstalled its bracket. And then we went under there and tightened up all the clamps. I don't have a torque setting. I read on the internet somebody tried 65 foot-pounds and snapped them off. Yeah, I think so. So we snugged them up real good and tight with a, we have like a 2-foot long wrench and we just snugged them. So we're getting ready to start it up and we'll see how it sounds. So hold on. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and start it up right now. Let's see how it sounds. Oh, that sounds pretty good. You notice the exhaust pipe is like really, really long. I may have to chop it off a little bit. It sticks way out. It kind of looks funky, but it sounds pretty good. So what we're gonna do is tomorrow we'll take it out for a drive, come back and retorque everything, and then we will, after it's tuned through the ECU for a tank full or so, I'll let you know if it gets better mileage or more power or just what happens. So that's all there is to this video. It was not a very hard installation. It took about 2.5 hours total. So thanks for watching. Tschüss.